I'll actually do one of my favorites by Donny Hathaway. Of course, the old school girl coming out, but all right. You taught me precious secrets of a true love, withholding nothing. You came out in front when I was hiding. But now I'm so much better. And if my words don't come together, listen to the melody, 'cause my love is in there hiding.
Wow. So yeah, how are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you again so much for having me on your show. It's definitely an honor and a pleasure to be here.
Oh, that is great. Great to hear. Glad to great to have you on the show. You're an amazing talent. You know, the pleasure is all ours. Absolutely. Um, so let's start from the top. Can we get you to introduce yourself, please? And
Of
what do you
course.
do?
I'm Nyaira, singer, songwriter, engineer. I've been in the entertainment industry for 17 years now. Music is my passion, my life, really an extension of who I am. Definitely well faceted in multiple different genres, but R&B soul is definitely my niche. And with each piece, I like to give a piece of my heart to each of my listeners, and I hope that you guys receive every single one of them.
Oh, that is absolutely beautiful intro. Because on Power 8 Radio, that is what we really cater for. More those soul, those funk, those sweet music, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, I will let you introduce this single, the Elephant in the Room. I will let you introduce that. So what is the title and what's the inspiration behind it?
Yes. So my newest single, Failure, spelled Failur, just focusing on the internal dialogue that we deal with on a daily basis, from the positive to the negative self-talk that we get often. And just that battle of having a balance and really finding who you are in all of it. And that's really what failure is all about. Not necessarily the negative standpoint, but just how we process our emotions within ourselves.
No, I get it. So it's not necessarily like, oh yeah, I failed, but it's the whole collective of actually the experience that you gain along the way. So
Yes.
that that that, that makes so much sense. Absolutely. And what got you to write that? What happened? Did something happen, or did you just wake up one day and you're like, oh, I'm gonna write about failure?
Honestly, I was just in a bit of a rut with my management team, and of course, with things slowing down as the beginning of the year comes, festivals aren't really going, a lot of traveling has been restricted. So I was just kind of dealing with that, of course, internal dialogue. I was in my home studio and started playing around with some of the chords, and eventually the song just came to pass. I presented it to my team just out of my own personal disgruntled emotions, really, and wanted to put it in a context where people can understand, like, it's okay not to be okay, but process and get through those emotions.
That is really powerful message, actually. And I hope the viewers, I'm sure they will receive it the same way I did.
Oh, thank
You
you.
know, so let's talk about your music career. So, how long have you been doing music?
Yep. As stated previously, 17 years in the entertainment industry overall. I've been singing professionally since I was 6 years old, traveling, performing on Broadway, living in Los Angeles for 5 years, and just having opportunities to perform in the UK with Disney. It's been a wild ride, of course, and me now being 23 and developing my craft and finding my own sound. It's definitely an experience going from a child actress, vocalist, and so on to where I am now. And I find that now I'm able to have a bit more freedom in expressing myself and letting people in, because when you're taught how to compose yourself in front of a camera, how to stand on stage, how to market yourself, it becomes almost like you're mentally trained to kind of hone into your emotion
Oh,
to myself.
Oh, sorry, I lost you there for a little bit, but yeah, you're back with me.
Okay. Yeah, just being able to hone in on that and being able to express myself as freely as possible, and going from the Disney kid or the Nickelodeon kid, and having those opportunities to who I am now as the artist, the writer, and the free spirit as far as expressing and being relatable, because people want to know who you are, regardless as to whatever you're going through.
No, absolutely. And I think that that is part of why we brought about this show called Meet the Artist. So you're not just that superficial person on TV. So actually this person, this is a real person.
Mhm.
Um, and you know, with the sort of message you're delivering as well, it's something that a lot of people go through. Well, everybody goes through it. And
Yes.
knowing that, oh, actually, knowing that you're not alone sometimes with a problem, it's a good start solving the problem. Really, like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, it's fine. Other people will look at this great artist talking about failure. Oh, this is so. It's not just me after all.
Right.
So it's good to definitely see somebody who can relate. And what got me though is your voice. So did you have professional coaching, or I know you say you've been doing it for since six, but it's absolutely amazing the way you
Oh,
throw it
thank you.
about. It's really great. So what is, did you have a special training for?
Absolutely. So, my mother, before her passing, or my grandmother rather, since she raised me, she pretty much got me through everything as far as stage presence, vocal coaching, from voice control, voice placement, and of course, eventually having some classical training in operatics and classical music overall. Like I said, I'm well versed in all genres of music. So I've had the rock, I've had the R&B, the soul, the opera, the all kind of conglomerate into one person and one voice. And just me finding that voice in itself, in addition to my training, I was able to develop a sound that's really different from the average or what you're hearing on your everyday radio or your television screen. So I definitely pride myself on having so many different genres of training and being able to put that into my music now.
That is beautiful. We really love that the musical infusion. The track failure, it started very mellow and so calm, and then there's a bit of it which before you know it, you're actually bumping along and you think, oh, I was just chilling earlier. So there's, there's a nice, great emotion to it. It's really, really perfect. I can't wait to share it with our audience. So with you writing music, you've been doing this for a little while. How do you go about it? Do you just, it just comes to you while you're sleeping, or how do you get to write music?
Absolutely. I pull inspiration from some of everything, from my travels when I'm on the road, or I'll use my voice recorder on my phone if I have a melody that pops in my head. I'm an outspoken person and I'm very sociable, but I do have those moments where I am introverted, and I kind of like to people watch in a way when I'm in the airport and listening to people's conversations and how they react to different people in different ways. I pull from some of everything. And to actually mention what you were saying, sometimes I do wake up out of my sleep and I have a song in my head, and I'll write it down on my notepad, or I'll add a few things on my different softwares and I'll play it on my keyboard. I can pull inspiration from anything, and it really helps a lot to be well expressive and well rounded as an artist.
No, absolutely. That makes so much sense. So you just have kind of you watch what's going on and then write about that.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes. I watch my environment, and also just sometimes I listen to people's stories, or just kind of create a whole universe in my own mind to be able to bring someone into where my imagination goes. So it's definitely a wild ride when it comes to different opportunities of music. And I have something for everyone, which is great.
No, absolutely, and you definitely do. There's just as you said, you are very volatile. You have those, you know, I don't know, your voice very, very mesmerizing.
Thank
But
you.
so, and at the age of 23, doing music, doing shows, doing all this, where do you get time? How do you get time to for yourself to do something else?
Well, I like to tell everyone, you have to prioritize what's important, your mental health, your spiritual health, and your growth overall. So I make sure that I take my time with myself, even if it's just an hour out of my day when I first wake up early or when I'm getting ready to retire for the evening. You have to prioritize aside from building content or doing your rehearsals and studio time and managing all of this, really taking that time to check in with you and say, hey, am I really okay? And what do I need to do to take care of me first in order to be the best that I can be in my craft?
No, that is yeah, that is really deep. That makes so much sense.
Thank you.
And just moving on to my next question, what artists actually influence you, to come up with all this great music? We want to know, who do you listen to so we can go and listen to them?
Oh yeah, I was raised an old school girl, so I'm a Tina Marie fan, Earth, Wind and Fire, Prince, Confunction. But as far as the newer artists, I love Yeba, I love her, I love so many different artists, and just that root in real musicianship and being able to tell a story in my lyrics and still having that bit of that fresh perspective, of course. It definitely helps to bring people into what they know and love and the journey that they're going on with music.
That is great. Thank you. Thank you for that answer. That is spot on. So before we keep going, is it fine to do a little performance? Just because I keep talking about your voice, your voice, your voice. I want the audience to be the judge of it, so they know exactly what I'm talking about. So
Of course, not a problem. I'll actually do one of my favorites by Donny Hathaway. Of course, the old school girl coming out, but all right. You taught me precious secrets of a true love, withholding nothing. You came out in front when I was hiding. But now I'm so much better. And if my words don't come together, listen to the melody, 'cause my love is in there hiding.
wow, wow, that is, yeah, that I felt that. That is really, really good. That is absolutely amazing. So, where can we find more of your music? Where can we go and listen to this? Oh, it's beautiful stuff.
Of course. And just to let you know, the album is coming out in April of next year. So be on the lookout for the full entire project. I'm so excited for that. And I'm on all streaming platforms from your Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, everywhere. And of course, make sure that you check out those snippets because sometimes I do special live performances on my social media. So all my social media is at Nyaira Collins. That's Nyaira Collins with 2 L's.
Super. Great. We will definitely be there to like and subscribe so we can definitely get those hot off the press stuff.
Yes.
So let's digress a little bit from music. So if you were an animal, what animal would you be?
Wow, that's a great question. I think I'd be a chameleon. Well, technically reptile, but I definitely would say a chameleon, because of their personalities come out in who they are. I have a very expressive face. What usually before I even say anything, it shows on my face. So being able to blend into different environments and meeting new people and just being able to be a chameleon, but even though they're able to camouflage their emotions, they still are so beautiful and they stand out. And of course, with their vision being all over the place, they're able to take in everything as much as they can. So I would definitely say a chameleon. Why not?
That is a great answer, chameleon. That's really good. Okay, so let's come back to music. Let's come
Okay.
back to music. Thank you for for the answer, Chameleon. Great answer. Um, so what makes you different from other artists?
Oh man. I would say what makes me stand out above other artists are my heart. A lot of people can have writers, a lot of people can write from certain topics or what's trending, but I'm fully involved in every aspect of the music, from the lyrics to the vocal arrangement to production, being that I am an engineer. I'm really encompassing every part of who I am into each and every piece. Of course, I collaborate with other artists and producers. That's normal being in the industry, but my authenticity in my voice is definitely something that stands above the crowd. And of course, I like to say that my tone of voice is different, from how I can change the tone to how I add more air to my voice, or giving you a full experience versus just getting on the mic and singing something. So my personable touch and authenticity is what makes me stand out for sure.
Yep, no, definitely. I would second that. Definitely. Yeah, stamped. As a, because yeah, I'm just getting to know about you, but actually those qualities come out straight away. You can see it, that that's who
Oh,
you are.
thank you.
You can't fake that. So no, it's really so much of a pleasure, And in your answer, you talk about, okay, you like to collaborate. So that will lead me to my next question. You have a strange one, but dead or alive, if you could collaborate with any artist to do that rock ass show, the kick ass show, one of those
Oh man.
spectacular
Wow.
performances, who would it be?
Oh, oh my goodness. I would have to say, well, living preferably, but Erica Badu and the Roots. The Roots are such an amazing band, and the musicianship behind them, and how even though they're able to do their own thing and separate, but when they come together as one sound, it's amazing. And as far as Erica Badu, I love everything about her, from how she is in tune with who she is and the world, and being a mother and being a doula, just having that duality of bringing life into the world, and helping them to navigate and grow, even through her music and her holistic practices. I absolutely adore her. And that would be a great experience, from my special touch to her and the band themselves. It's definitely a great mixing pot for an amazing concert.
Oh, wow, yeah, no, that I would, yeah, I definitely pay to see that. That would be that would be an amazing show. The blending voices, whew, I can imagine it. But we just never know. Hopefully someday,
Yes.
you
Oh
know,
my goodness,
hopefully
that would be great.
someday, you know. So it, let's just go on to another question about
Mhm.
the music industry itself. You've actually, well, you've done plays, you've done shows, now you're writing music, you've done a lot of it.
Mhm.
What do you think of the music industry, and how has it been? What's your experience so far?
The music industry has evolved even in the past decade, from the instrumentation to the sound to what's hot, what's not. It's really evolved, and people want to know you for you. People are nosy nowadays, especially with the evolution of social media. People really want to know what's going on in your life. How are you bringing it into your music? Because, of course, right now the charts are hip hop heavy, and pop is starting to come back into the scene. And of course, you can only hear so many songs about chains and traveling and cars and money. But then that feel good music is really starting to come back into the game, and really hearing people's stories, from if they've been kind of on a hiatus to coming back to the forefront again. I really appreciate the fact that real musicianship is coming back. And even though it doesn't necessarily get as much light as it deserves, because we're so media driven, numbers driven, and the trends, individuality, like some of the artists, Doja Cat, SZA, some of these most amazing artists are really starting to get their shine that I've been listening to since before they were quote unquote popular or Billboard artists. The weirdos are getting their shine. They're the quirky people, the people that embrace who they are, their isms and their style. It's really coming to pass of seeing who people really are, and it's being celebrated. And with that, a lot of people feel more in tune with themselves at different festivals and concerts and virtual experiences. And it shows. Of course, the hip hop generation, of course, I still enjoy my hip hop as well. But even some of the hip hop heads collaborating with some of us that are different as musicians and hearing those two worlds collide is absolutely amazing. So just seeing real musicianship come back and wanting music to just be music, and that's it. No personas, no characters, no, just letting the music speak for itself. It's a breath of fresh air to see again, for sure.
No, absolutely. That is it's a really great answer. That's one way I've never really thought about it. Because obviously the music industry was held by the sort of the music industry powers, like the likes of Sony, and so if you go through them, or you're successful, otherwise you're just going to keep trying. But now with social media and technology, it's giving us that extra weapon for us to say, oh well, you know what, I've got a good voice, I'm going to record it and I'm going to send it out, and then people are going to make a judge of it. We're not going to leave it all in the power of the man. So that is it's a really good yeah, it's a really good perspective on it. Thank you very much for that. So as we're wrapping up, what would you like to say to your viewers?
Of course, I would definitely love to say, take the time to check in with you again, just making that such a profound point. And don't let media kind of distort your view of yourself and how you view others, because of course social media is very big on putting up a persona or a perspective and advertising and this. Live in your true authentic self and celebrate that. Love who you love. Hold on to the people closest to you that mean you well. Make sure as we're coming into the new year that you're seeing if you're having positive relationships that are feeding you and who you're feeding into, and just live life. Love it. And of course, tune into that new music and make sure you check out that album coming in April.
Can't wait for it. It's been such a pleasure having you on here. You're a great artist, and we know definitely you're going to fly sky high. So we can't wait to see it. We can't wait to see it. At this age, for what you've achieved, I'm blown away and 100% behind you. So
thank you so
very much. So thanks for coming on the show, and we can't wait for April to get this new album and get to have it listened to.
And big shout out to you guys, of course, being able to have this platform and giving people the opportunity to express themselves and giving good music. Like it's definitely appreciated, and we need more true platforms just like you guys. You are definitely mostly appreciated. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for saying that. That means a lot. Thank you so much. And yeah, we'll hopefully we'll catch up definitely pretty soon. Until then, be good.
Today's fresh music. Non-stop music. Non-stop music.
The station's awesome.
I love the station.
Power Ace Radio.